Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day, and or good night, good friends. Thank you for being here at the Mad Poet Show. Welcome, everyone, to the Mad Poet Show. I appreciate you being here. We got some viewers going on over here on YouTube. It looks like we got a new follower on Twitch. ClearJack12. Thanks for following on Twitch. We got Ben. The big fart vibes I'm getting. Oh, that's a new one. Yeah, I appreciate it. The swords on the wall are no joke. Yeah, those are real swords. I mean, they're decorative, but still bad to get stabbed with. Not that there's much that's really good to get stabbed with that I know of. So I don't know. What's a setup like this go for these days? Really not as much as you think. These lights back here. You can get for $15-20 each on eBay, and they're not great. Probably once a show or once every other show, I'll need to go back and reset one of the lights because it kind of goes rogue. So it's not bad. There's I do have a very strong computer to run everything, but smoke machine costs like $30-40. And so yeah, I mean it's not as expensive as it looks like. Multiple cameras, are a bit of a cost there, but Shamir Khan, long time no see. How's it going? It's going great. It's going absolutely great over here. Sarah and I did a project. We were over in Western Washington working on her dad's house, getting it ready for sale. And that really threw us off our game for a while, but we're getting back into groove, and it's good to be back to streaming. It feels good. I think I've been streaming only for about a week now. I took like 3 months off, and probably closer to 5 months. I did one stream in the middle there. So yeah, it's going well. It's going good, well. And Ben, thanks for the compliment. I'm glad that you are enjoying the show, the audio, the video, the whole crazy thing. For those who are maybe new to what we're doing here, I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you very much for being here. Today we are playing my 60th album. It is titled Finite Reality. What was that first song called? First song was called The First Funeral. And what are we coming up on here? This next piece in D minor. For those who are playing along on their euphoniums, their trumpets, and their fiddles. This song is called The Ghost of Temptation. Therese, cruising in on YouTube. Great to see you again, lady. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, and it is good to be back streaming again. It really is. It feels great. Yeah, I was saying we took so much time off of that stupid house project. If any of you guys are on my Discord, you may have seen the video I put up right after we finished getting that house up, and we just had to. The house hadn't been maintained well for like 40 years, and Sarah and I are not good at flipping houses. It was really her project, and then partway through she ended up breaking a toe. So I had been helping a little bit, and then I started helping a lot. And we're not really that good at flipping houses and doing that kind of stuff, so it was tough. But in the video, it was showing how nice the house looks, and I was just like, I hate this house. And I totally do. Shah Khan says, damn, that was really good. Thank you very much for the compliment. Greatly appreciate it. I'm glad you are enjoying it. Eric Bernstein, new sub on YouTube. Thank you very much for following us over on YouTube. I do appreciate that as well. All right. This next song inspired very heavily. I love talking about this. So when I was growing up in the 80s, there was a song called Metal Church. Yes, you do, Therese. You are familiar with how tough it can be to sell a house. Okay, anyway, back to the 80s. Back when I was a young lad, I was real into this song called Metal Church. It was on an album called Metal Church by a band called Metal Church. They were very original with their titles. They actually, they're awesome band. I think they still gig occasionally. As far as I know, they're still active. Just absolutely killer stuff. And the main riff of this song was inspired by the opening to that song. And so if you know Metal Church by Metal Church off of the Metal Church album, this will sound comfortable to you. You will probably enjoy it. Hopefully you'll enjoy it even if you don't know that song. This is called 6 Hours Ago. Max, I'm not sure if I can say your last name right. Nixon? Max? Get Nixon? I'm not sure how to say that. Talking about housework. Says Max says I can empathize. I think is what he's going for there. As a child, my father and I did most of our house's wiring and masonry on our own. A lot of work because the contractors weren't fast enough. Dad's words, not mine. Yeah, well, sometimes that's very true. I know that this house that Sarah and I moved into, we've been living here just under 4 years now. And they had done a bunch of work on it before we moved out here. And apparently, so they had revamped the attic into a third floor, did a beautiful job on it. It's excellent. But I guess the guy was like 9 months past the due date when he finally got it done. Just from the way I've been told the story. None your business. Okay, I like that. That works. I'm actually going to do something a little non-standard here. I'm going to skip around just because when I play songs 5 and 6 in a row on this album, they kind of, I don't know. I feel like it slows the show down. So I'm gonna slow down a little bit here. I'm gonna skip song 4, go to song 5, go back to 4, and then go to 6. You all can follow that. But we're going to slow it down here. This song is called You May Be Wondering. And if the thing that you may be wondering about is what it's like to play a song in a diminished mode, that's kind of what we answer here. This song is in E Locrian. Diminished is a particularly restless type of a sound. Does not resolve well. So that's basically the root chord, the resolution chord of this scale. And so it makes it very fun to kind of experiment around with the improvisational solos that I do as I run through this stuff. So we're going to play this. This is called You May Be Wondering. Okay, I'm going to jump over to song 4 now. And then we'll go to 6 afterward. It's kind of breaking it up a little bit. I usually just do my album straight in order, but wasn't feeling 5. That one's kind of a slower paced piece, and the number 6, that's the lightest piece on the album. So playing those two back to back, just I wasn't feeling that tonight. So we're gonna bump the pace back up here, keep the energy nice and high. What am I missing here? I'm just checking all my chats. As my regulars know, I stream to 15 different websites, and so keeping track of what's going on in chat can be a bit of a task. All right. C sharp minor for those playing along. This one's called On the Run. Now we're going to jump over to 6. And this piece here is dedicated to my grandma Marie. And I had a very, very positive, very close relationship with all my grandparents. They've been dead for many, many years, all long since passed, a bunch of old dead people. And but this song is also unique in that a student of mine, Susan, who occasionally tunes in with us here. Actually, Maximus is tuning in from Facebook. Actually, if you left a comment on Facebook, I can see that looks like you may have commented, but it didn't show up on my chat. Feel free to re-comment if you are so inclined. But I don't actually see a comment there, just a comment box with your name on it. So I don't know what happened there. Nonetheless, so Susan, after this album came out, she contacted me and said, what would you think of me making a choral version of The Shadow's Embrace? I'm like, that would be awesome. Super cool. You totally have my permission for that. And she did, and it came out really cool. She does very, very excellent choral compositions. And so she did this, and just before I went live with this album one night, she had sent me the final version of it. Or it might have not been the final, but it was pretty much composed. And I listened to it just before I went live, and I was like kind of breaking out in like a cold sweat. Like, dude, this is so cool that someone actually took my music and created something else with it. It's really awesome. And yeah, so that's kind of the story behind this. This is also fun in the fact that it's in B flat minor. I'm in a standard tuned guitar, which means that none of my open strings are in the scale. So you got to be very cautious about how you play. A lot of guitar players will avoid a scale like this. I kind of go after it. This is called The Shadow's Embrace. And you know what time it is now? I don't know what time it is where you are. I know what time it is where I am. But I also just know what time it is. It's time that, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. The song is called To Think Beyond Rationality.
Now, where are we at here tonight? I'm trying to remember what we got going on this album. It's been a long time since I've played this stuff. Here we go. We got 3 more songs tonight. Okay. Cool. 10 songs on this album. Let's keep this thing going. Absolutely.
This one is called Thought Is All I Am. Leandro coming in from YouTube. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for the compliments. I'm glad you are enjoying it. I do love playing music. It's just feels good. Just grab a guitar and rip. Yes. Everyone should play guitar, even if you're terrible at it. I do all right at playing guitar, but I recently started learning to play piano, and boy, I'll tell you, it reminds me what it's like to be a beginner. And that's an important thing to remember when you do something for a long time. It's real easy to forget what it was like when you were starting out. And so it's really good to go back and do that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I really appreciate the compliments. So I really enjoy doing this. And for anyone who's just coming in, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Tonight we're playing my 60th album titled Finite Reality. We're having a blast doing it. Jeff Stark coming in from Facebook. Hey bud, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope you are doing well, my friend. It's good to be back on stream. Took a few months off and did dumb grown-up stuff, and that's just stupid because being a grown-up's the dumbest thing I've ever done. This next song is a very fun piece, and it's got an awesome title. This is called A Pile of Skulls. Jeff from Facebook says that he's doing most excellent. Glad to hear that, Jeff. That's great. And Leandro from YouTube says, nice guitar. Yeah, this is actually my newest guitar. Sarah just bought this for me about a month ago. And it feels really good. I've always really liked the Les Paul style guitars. It's a great body shape. It has always been very comfortable for me, the way it sits, the scale length, the shape of the neck, everything. And so, yeah, I had a really nice Les Paul stolen from me about probably 12, 13 years ago now. And always kind of wanted to replace it. So it's nice to be playing a Les Paul again. I see this guitar very quickly becoming my main guitar. Just because, like I said, the Les Pauls have always been very comfortable for me. I still like all my other guitars. All of my girlfriends, the other women in my life are all awesome. And but I think this is going to become my main other woman. This next song, from a music theory perspective, is very interesting for me. And also from an improvisational perspective, as I do these improvisational guitar solos, this is an interesting one. When I started writing it, my brain envisioned myself as writing it in E minor. And so I started using a D sharp note, which is the seventh note of the scale, the sharp 7, if you will. For music theory geeks will know exactly what I'm talking about. Makes it a harmonic minor. And then I realized that I was not writing an E minor, I was writing an E Phrygian, which gives it this really cool sharp 7 and flat 2, so you have these consecutive half steps between the 7, the 1, the 1, and the 2. Everything I said does make sense, and it wasn't English. You kind of got to know some music theory to make sense of it. But so it's known as a Neapolitan scale, and it's not very common. But when I got to that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go with this, and I'm going to see what happens. And so it made for some very interesting improvisational ideas throughout the concept of this song. Leandro from YouTube asked, first guitar. My first guitar was when I was 8 years old, and it was just this terrible little thing. I no longer have it. It was just a little thing we got at a swap meet out in Western Washington. And after I showed some interest, my parents got me some lessons, and then as I started to continue showing interest, they bought this red guitar for me. It's a JG. JG stands for Giuliano Giovetti. He was actually an Italian accordion maker, and he ended up breaking into some guitar making. You don't see the JGs around very often. They're a very cool guitar. I'm really glad I've still got that one. It has served me well. I put a lot of miles on that guitar. I often use that one for my slide guitar. And actually, I think in the near future, I want to experiment with recording that as an acoustic guitar, recording it with microphones as an acoustic guitar, because I think it will probably sound pretty good. And I've mentioned a few times that I have been working on my singing, getting places with it, and I may be doing some singing live here in the near future. And I'm writing a couple of albums that are lighter albums that I intend to sing upon. And so I kind of like the idea of instead of a clean tone electric guitar, just going for a full acoustic guitar. I don't think I really want to go get another guitar just for that, but I think that one will sound pretty good mic'd up. So I may experiment with that on stream one of these days. We shall see. But so yeah, that's my second guitar. So I've had that for over 40 years. And so yeah, that first guitar I ended up selling to a neighbor for like $5. My first guitar cost $8 when I was 8 years old. I lost money on it apparently. But you know, they depreciate. It's probably made out of cardboard anyway. But it got me started, and that was great. So that's kind of the abridged story of my first guitar. And so in E and Neapolitan minor scale, I'm not sure if that's quite the right way to say it, Phrygian sharp 7, This piece is called Before Eternity. All right, that is the show for the day. Everyone, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much to all my chatters, my new viewers, my lurkers, tippers, subscribers, followers, everyone out there. Thank you very much for being a part of the Mad Poet Show. You could have spent your time doing anything. You spent a little time with me. And for that, I appreciate you. Planning to be back tomorrow. Not sure exactly what time. I got to fit it around my teaching schedule, but I should be able to fit at least one album in. I want to get back to doing 2 albums in a row on these now that I'm getting back into the swing of doing shows. So maybe we'll get some longer shows happening in the near future. We shall see. Time will tell. Max, thank you very much. for the compliment. Greatly appreciate it. I hope you all come back again on future shows. And until the next time,